Hey, welcome to the Guaranteed Retirement Guy Show. My name is John Stevenson, and we're going to be talking about how to replace your paycheck when you stop working. So I deal with annuities, and I work with a ton of companies and lots of products. And people reach out to me when they're looking to replace their income with a regular paycheck after they retire. They want to make sure that paycheck continues to come in, and I show them annuities that will do that for them. But I always tell people, before you meet with me, go to my website, johnstevenson.com, and you can search annuities for yourself. Okay. Research them yourself. Okay. You don't have to talk to me first. It's really important to me because people feel like they're going to be sold. They feel like you're going to push a product and show like one or two or three options, which usually pays the advisor the most. And I hate that. So for me, I'm like, do not meet with me. Do not meet with me until you research. Okay. Look on my website. Take a look at what's available. If you're looking for highest income, the highest paycheck, usually the income rider is the best one. So just go to johnstevenson.com and you'll be able to do that. If you want to book a call and talk about annuities, go down below. There's a link below, or just do it on my website after you do some research on your own. So anyways, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you exactly how you can replace your paycheck and maybe some things to think about when using annuity contracts. Now, I know there are other ways to replace your paycheck. You can buy and ladder bonds. You can do a lot of different things. You can buy real estate. There's nothing wrong with doing these other things to provide that income for your retirement. But I'm trying to show you how to replace a paycheck with pure passive income where you really don't have to do anything. You set it up, the income drops in your account for the rest of your life, and you really don't have to think about it ever again. That is really nice. And it's hard to put a price on that. So a lot of guys will say, well, you got to do growth and keep it in the market and do all this and do a 70-30. And you can do that. That's fine. But it's nice to have guaranteed paychecks coming in where you just don't have to worry about it. You just don't care. Okay. And you can leave the money in a market if you want, and then just use the amount that you need for your paycheck. And that's it. Okay. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Let's go through this together. All right, so for this particular instance, and I just threw in a huge number. Okay, most people, they're not looking to put $1.5 million into an annuity. A lot of people are though, but most are doing like 500 grand, maybe 300 grand, maybe 100 grand. Some are doing 700, a million. It just depends on your portfolio. But if you look at the statistical numbers in the US as far as what people have in their wealth, there's not a lot of people putting $1.5 million in, but I still want to show it anyways because it's fun. All right. So 66 and 66. This is a married couple. All right. So if you're looking at this, you're noticing that they are getting, let's see what they're getting. All right. They are getting lifetime income, joint lifetime income of $111,000, $563 for the rest of their life, guaranteed starting next month. Okay, that is no deferral time, no nothing. It'll be completely different if they defer it. Okay, but they're like, we're quitting our job tomorrow, and we happen to have $3 million in our portfolio. We're going to use half of it to replace my paycheck. The end. Okay, it's great. All right, there's nothing wrong with doing that, and people do that all the time. Okay. I just talked to someone literally yesterday, and he wants to replace his income, but he wants to get $200,000. He's putting $1.3 million into an annuity contract, but he's deferring it out. So the longer you defer it out, the more income you get. So he doesn't need to put as much money in for more income later. Okay. So in hindsight, you're always going to look back and say, yes, I definitely should have put that money in earlier to have higher income now. But sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just don't have access to those funds. But if you do, think about it. Okay. Go to my website, plug in your numbers and see what it would look like for you if you deferred it out. Okay. So say 1.5, and we'll say, well, we're going to take it. Actually, let's just say we're going to take it in 1 year, just 1 year. We're going to wait 12 months. You take the money out. We got some savings. We're going to live off that. Okay, great. So you put that in. Well, it's higher. It's $120,000 a year guaranteed. Okay. What if it is age 70? You push it out for 4 years. You want joint income, same $1.5 million, $162,000. So now people do this. And I say that a lot of people don't do this. People still put this type of premium in. Sometimes people put more. The people have put more than $5 million into these annuities. It just depends on the type of income you're looking for. I would just say most of the people I'm talking to, they don't need as much income. They may only need $100,000 a year, right? So you know your situation. So you might be thinking, well, all right, show me something else, John. This is a little too rich for my blood. Maybe I'll just do 500,000. Okay. So 500 grand, and let's say we still defer it out for 4 years. What does that look like? I want to replace my paycheck. Will it replace it? Well, this one's 54 grand. If your Social Security is 35 grand, you're going to get 90,000 a year in guaranteed lifetime income. You've got your Social Security pension and you've got your annuity pension. Okay. You can do that. It just depends on how you want to replace your paycheck and how much money you want to spend on replacing your paycheck. You can do that with your 401k. You can do that with your IRA. Maybe you've got brokerage money. People use whatever they've got to replace their paycheck, and they will set them up as a qualified annuity contract or a non-qualified. The income is exactly the same. All right. So let's go back here and say, all right, well, what will this give me immediate? Okay. We got $500,000. We want immediate income. Okay. We're 66 years old. We're married. What's the highest we can get? Well, 37 grand. You're getting over $3,000 a month. That might be perfect for your situation. This might be like, yes, this is exactly what we want, because we're going to get, what are we going to get? Like $3,100 per month guaranteed for the rest of our lives. And you take that out. I mean, even taking it out until you're 95 is $1.1 million. Okay. If you live longer, your spouse lives longer, it continues to pay out. So you're still getting a great payout, but you just have to realize the longer you keep it in with the company, the more you're going to get. So in hindsight, people always kind of wish they had money earlier. And they will, and a lot of people do. If they're in their 50s and they're thinking, I'm going to retire in 9 years from now. I'm 56, I'm going to retire at 65. So I'm going to throw this money in here. I'm going to let it defer out for 9 years, and you don't have to put as much money in. You don't have to put as much money in, and you get a higher income payout. So it just depends on your current circumstances. So anyways, hope this helps. I wanted to just kind of briefly go over this and show you how you can replace your paycheck. Now, you can do other things. You can buy a MYGA. A MYGA is a multi-year guaranteed annuity. If you look on my website, you'll see those calculators there as well. The rates right now are great. They're like 5.5%. So if you've got $1 million and you're like, well, I want to live off the interest, you can do that. You get what, 55 grand a year is pretty good. And at the end of it, you'll get your $1 million back. But it's not lifetime income. You're not replacing your paycheck for life. You're replacing it for 10 years. And maybe that's enough to replace it. Maybe it's not. So if you want a higher lifetime income paycheck, put that same amount of money in, and you can see it's the same $1 million. So instead of 55 grand a year for 10 years, get my principal back, I'll just do lifetime income, lock it in. I don't have to ever touch it again. Okay, I don't have to worry about it. So I do that, and that's immediate. 74 grand. Okay, that's a lot better than 55. Yes, your balance is going to run out. Okay, it will run out, but this is an income product. You're trying to replace your paycheck. Okay, so you can see right here, if there's no index growth, which they give you a little bit of the S&P 500, but if the S&P doesn't do anything, then they're just showing you, hey, the account balance will run out by the time you're 78. But you did it for income, and you see that income forever. Okay, now go to the growth. Yeah, the index, if it gives you the 6.5%, every once in a while, then your growth, your account balance is going to last to your 80. Really, in my opinion, who cares? Because the income is what I want it for. Okay. I want it for, $2.2 million or more in income. That's what I want it for. Okay. Because I plan on living until 100. So it just depends on what your goals are. That's what I recommend. And if you take this income for a few years and you die and your spouse dies, you might be thinking, well, what happens to my account balance? And you can see right here, the death benefit. That goes to your beneficiaries. Okay, so you're just setting yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up to replace your paycheck, but you're sure not losing your money if you die early. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you knew that, because that's very important to know. So anyways, if this makes sense, if this has brought you value, I hope you like, subscribe, and share. And I hope if you're looking for an annuity that you will go to my website first and check out my annuity calculators, and then book a call with me if you want to chat more. So there's a link below this video as well, but I always encourage people to go to my website first. So I really do hope this has brought you value. I really try to show everything that's available. Commissions are all over the place for these products. Okay, some of these pay high, some of these pay low, but it's my job as a certified financial fiduciary to show you everything on the planet. And then you decide what's best for you. And then, of course, I'd love to help you if that feels right. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate you. I really do. And we'll see you next time.